Hey everybody, and welcome to the Darren Clark Real Estate Show for Saturday, March 13th. Want to welcome you. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching on Facebook Live, I certainly appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know you were here. I'd appreciate that. Also, don't forget to like the page. If you're watching the recording on YouTube, welcome. Make sure you subscribe to that channel. Hit that like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know you watched it. And I look forward to engaging with you and talking with you. So today we're going to start a series. The next few weeks we're going to talk about home buying and the home buying process. It's important to know these steps when you're going in. That way you can be adequately prepared. It also helps your realtor out because you know what you can do going in, and we can find the home that you want and get you in there as quickly as possible. So today, Home Buying 101, we're going to talk about where the money comes from to purchase your home. And really there's 4 different ways that you can do this, that you can buy a home. And the first one is probably one that if you're watching this show for the informational value of it, you probably aren't in this situation. But the first way to purchase a house is all cash. Now you may be there, and that's great, and I applaud you, but not too many people have $300,000 lying around to purchase a nice 4-bedroom, 3-bath house, on a quarter acre or whatever. So, an all cash purchase is the fastest way to do it. All you have to do is provide a letter from your bank or your institution, wherever your funds are, that just says, hey, you've got this amount of funds on hand, and we show that when we submit the offer. It makes a very attractive offer, by the way, when you're ready to do that, because the seller knows that you don't have to worry about financing, that we don't have to go through the underwriting process, we don't have to worry about approvals, and we don't have to jump through hoops with lender required repairs to the home. There are just so many things that get eliminated on an all cash purchase. But like I said, not everybody has the means to do that. So, but if you do, great, give me a holler. Let's find you a house. We'll get you in it pretty quickly. And like I said, quickly, because the only real process that we have to go through, and we'll talk more about this in the coming weeks, is the inspection and title underwriting, and then boom, you're in closing. So it can be very quick, and that's a good thing. Now, that moves us to the second method of purchasing a home, which is probably the most common method out there, and that is your traditional financing. Now notice I didn't say conventional financing, because that has its own meaning, right? You can get a conventional loan, and we talked about this with Rachel, about 8 weeks ago. Gosh, it's been that long. 8 weeks ago in our very first episode of the Darren Clark Real Estate Show. Now, so you have conventional, you have FHA loans, you have VA loans, you have what are called USDA loans. There are all these different programs that are out there. But basically, in traditional financing, you have a portion of the purchase price in cash on hand, and we call that your down payment. And then the remaining balance of the purchase price of the home is financed, and you're going to make monthly payments for 10, 15, 20, even 30 years, and you will make those payments until such time as the principal of the loan is paid off. And of course you have to pay interest on top of that. But here in 2021, that's not as big a deal as it was, say, 20 years ago. 20 years ago, interest rates were somewhere around 7 to 7.5%. If you got any lower than that, then kudos, you were doing great. But today, interest rates are as low as 3% or even lower when you buy the rate down a little bit. And that's a whole complicated process, and I'll leave all the details of that to the lender. But the basic concept is that you have some cash down and the remaining balance is going to be financed. Now, whether you go with a conventional loan or an FHA loan has a lot to do with your income. It has a lot to do with your credit. It has a lot to do with the amount of money available for you to put down. That's where the lender steps in, and they help you make that decision and make an informed decision so that you can be in the best situation possible. Now, the third method of buying a home is something that's a little bit different, and that is a program, and we talked a little bit about this with Rachel, but that is a program where you receive in the form of a grant up to 5% of the home price to use as a down payment. It's a down payment assistance program. Now, as you can imagine, if you're getting free money like that, there's going to be some strings attached, and absolutely there are. If you happen to sell the home too early, there's what's called a recapture tax, especially if your income has gone up over that time. There's all these rules to it. In fact, I think I might have a graphic here that kind of talks about these different programs. But the first one is called My First Texas Home, and if you are a first-time home buyer, they offer down payment assistance up to 5%. There are some additional fees. There is a minimum FICO score of 620, but these are just some of the things that this program requires. Then there's My Choice Texas Home, and that also offers down payment assistance up to 5%, but there is not a first-time home buyer requirement for that program. And then there's what's called the Texas Mortgage Credit Certificate, and that kind of helps you out on your taxes. So there's some ways that you can get into a home that don't require a large amount of cash down. And if you can find a program like that and it works for you, then great. Just know that if you leave and you sell that home before, I think it's 9 years, you're subject to a recapture tax under certain situations, and it's kind of complicated. So you're going to want to make sure you go over all of those details before you get into that home, before you get into that loan program. Work with your lender to know what you're getting into. The world got into a huge mess. It started about 20 years ago, and then it ended in 2007, 2008 with the crash of what we called the subprime mortgage crisis. And a lot of that was caused by some predatory lending, some unscrupulous lenders that were out there that got people into adjustable rate mortgages that started great, but then 3 years later the payment just shot up and people didn't know what to do. And we had people owning 5 and 6 homes and stated income loans and all sorts of problems. So we're avoiding that, and you want to make sure that you know exactly what that loan is when you get into it, and that's really important. Now, the fourth way that you can get into a home that you want is something that's a little unconventional, we'll say, and that is you can find a home on the market and lease that home for up to 3 years with an option to purchase it anytime during that lease. And this is a program that I've recently partnered with an organization to help people find homes that maybe they can't buy right now. There might be some situation that says that, maybe even they just want to test drive the home, right? How would you like to test drive a home? Try it before you buy it, live in it for 2-3 years, and then make a decision to buy it. I mean, we test drive cars, right? So why not with a home? But with this program, you can find a house that's on the market for sale. This company that I've partnered with actually purchases the home, and then they lease the home to you. Now, you're going to pay a rent price on it that's probably similar to a mortgage, and over the 3-year period that you're leasing it, the price of the purchase price of the home will go up. Now, not significantly, but it will go up. But you do have the option to purchase the home, going through conventional financing or FHA financing, traditional financing methods to purchase that home. If you want information on any of that or any of what I've told you about, I'm going to throw my email in the chat. So take a look at the comments here, and you can send me an email and say, hey, Darren, I want more information on that lease to purchase program, or Darren, I want more information on these first-time home buyer programs. So reach out to me, let me know, and we'll definitely talk. In fact, let's see. Yeah, there's my email address right there on the screen. So all you have to do is shoot me an email, and we'll discuss it. And if you don't want to shoot me an email, shoot me a message here on Facebook, or let me know in the comments on YouTube, and we'll get all that taken care of, and we'll work together. All right, let's move forward and talk about the market. If you remember a couple weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago by now, we had the big snowmageddon, the big weather incident here in the DFW area, and we saw all these numbers just drop like a rock, right? And today I'm happy to say that we are pushing 2,000 new listings, and this is huge. If you know anything about the market lately, is that we have been short on listings. So to get almost 2,000 new listings this week is big, and that means there are homes available out there to buy. However, a bunch of them have gone under contract. It's almost 4,300 homes have gone under contract this week, and we have sold 2,200 or closed 2,200, as we're still seeing a little bit of a decline there because of the the weather that hit here a few weeks ago. That's put a delay on things as inspections and appraisals and things like that got delayed. All right. Don't forget to set your clocks back, or what is it? We spring forward, right? Don't forget to spring your clocks forward tonight. Otherwise, you're going to be kind of confused tomorrow. Nah, a lot of that happens automatically now with cell phones and things, right? All right, well, hey, thanks for joining me today for the Darren Clark Real Estate Show. Tune in next week as we talk step 2 in the home buying process, and you want to learn all about that. Next Saturday, 9 o'clock on Facebook Live. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great week.